Y'all had a good day yesterday. How you feeling with game coming so soon?
It's feeling good. I mean, it's glad to see, offense having some success because, after today, we're kind of together. We're a team. So it's going to be good. We're able to cheer now when they score touchdowns, things of that nature. But, it's been back and forth all camp. That's signs of a good team. You don't want one side of the ball beating up on each other too much because that can cause some concerns. But definitely proud of this team. Definitely worked throughout this camp. One of the most physical camps I've been through for my last one, just as far as the details, just the work, I feel like we put in a lot of work and we really got better over these past 25 days or whatever.
You mentioned all that work that you put in. Coaches have just lamented how much of a leader you've been throughout this process as you're going in your second year here. But your first year here, you couldn't play.
The best safety in America.
But a lot of guys still...
Landlord, baby.
A lot of guys still looked up to you in the locker room, giving speeches. Kind of where does that drive to be a leader come from?
I mean, I've been, all my teams since I was 4 years old, I've always kind of been that guy just looking around and nobody really saying anything, but, I've always been the one to step up and kind of lead. And then, with my story, too, just sitting off the field for that long, kind of having to be a self-starter, being off the field that long, you can have a lot of self-doubt in yourself, so, you have to kind of have that positive self-talk. So I try to speak that positive self-talk into my teammates before, we go into battle, go into games, remind them that we put in the work against each other each and every day. We go to battle against each other each and every day. So, against the guys we don't know, we really don't care what happens. We just going to play fast, physical, to the whistle's done.
And you talk about that positive self-talk. You guys are getting a lot of positive talk from outside this building.
Yep.
And there's kind of been this idea that you guys teams in your position might rest on their laurels, but everybody says this team is different. What makes this team different?
We just about to work. Like, we haven't forgot where we came from. We haven't forgot that, we were the team of misfits or, underdogs that came together last year that was predicted 16th, and the whole world was saying, nobody on our team is good and, we don't really have any good players and, we're going to be the last team, probably win 2 or 3 games. We haven't forgot about that, and we put in the work to get in the position we are. So, we steady working to put ourselves in the position that we want to be in. So the work is ultimately what you can trust. The work is what we go back to. And, we've been, ever since last year, even whatever last year was, we came back, to our process, things that worked, and, what's not broke, what's not broke, don't fix it.
And a lot of guys have had really winding roads to get here. You mentioned this team of misfits. For you, your road's been as long as anybody's.
Yeah.
And so how does everybody kind of having that journey to get here bring the group closer together?
It's just because, you can relate to adversities, throughout fall camp, we have things, where kind of seniors or just guys, period, coaches, go up and talk, and you kind of get to know people on a personal level, their adversities, what's their why, what's their purpose, things of that nature. So, just after coming out here practicing hard like that and then sitting out and then listening to those guys, figuring out off the field, personally, what's their why, things of that nature, it just brings us closer. So, when you're on the field lined up to that guy, like, oh, he's going hard because it is, and I'm going hard because it is. We all put it together, to make one big, one big wave, of effort, physicality, and things of that nature.
How do you feel the chemistry with you and Ghost has come along now in year 2, even though both of you kind of missed a little bit of time fall?
Yeah. We both, shout out to Coach Ward, for the way he teaches us the scheme and things like that. Our chemistry is crazy now a year ago from where it is now. It's crazy. We actually switched positions on the field yesterday, like mid-play. Like, he went to free and I went to strong just because we kind of know each other, kind of know what to do. And, in the games, it's kind of funny because when you see each other on the other side of the field, it's kind of far away. It kind of looks like it's close, but it's really far. So just eye contact, small things, mannerisms, us knowing each other, hanging out all the time, helps us on the field when it's loud, like it'll be on August 30th when we got to communicate, things of that nature. That chemistry definitely comes into play with the whole defense and the whole secondary as well.
And that nickel spot, kind of the one uncertain at this point. How have you seen like a young guy like Montana kind of battle a veteran like
It's been a great battle. Obviously, we come out here and compete every day. Everybody in the room loves each other. We all pride ourselves on being able to play different positions. Those guys are really close, obviously, because they got to pick each other's brain, learn from each other's mistakes, things of that nature. But it's been a really good battle, I feel like, between, like I said, Montana and Bree. They're both definitely going to help us, both great players, probably be on the field at the same time, with different stuff that we're doing, navigating the season, game plan, things like that. But it's definitely been a healthy battle. It's been competitive. The whole DB room, we just pride ourselves on coming out and competing every day.